Oh shit! My computer just told me this meeting is being recorded. Okay, I got it.
This
Have you ever heard of the butthole is called the back vagina?
Yeah.
Oh, I just
Everybody
heard that
knows
the
about
other day.
Yeah.
everyone knows about
Oh,
The
great,
back
Hunter.
vagina.
Hunter, just why don't you walk around on your phone outside somewhere where the signal's not strong? That's a really good idea. Talking about my podcasting skills, and you're just walking around. Where are you in Miami?
Oh, that
dude,
would
I
be.
told you I'm on vacation this week. I'm in Austin.
How did you
You
get
look so good. Both you guys look good. How
Thanks.
come I look old?
You don't look old. You just look
Okay.
like a gay man, a latent gay man that likes young boys that just doesn't want anyone to know it.
Well, that the except for the last part, the first part's good because most of the gay men I know have very nice skin, so I'll take that.
Gay men,
Yeah, they
do
take
that.
care of
They're
themselves.
beautiful men. Yeah, they're
Thank
probably
you.
the best looking men there are.
I know, but I think they use performance enhancers. Like I was just hanging out with one of my friends who's in the GAY community, and he was telling me, he's like, "Do you do stuff like Botox?" And I was like, "What?"
Wait, they
like,
use. He asked you if you do Botox.
Yeah.
I could never Botox. I feel like you're putting a toxin into your, like injecting like just poison.
Aren't you basically paralyzing the muscles in your face?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
especially
you're paralyzing the muscles in your face.
especially
How
for
does-
comedy, half of it is like facial reaction. Like that's why comedy's good live, because you see the comic's facial reactions. And to eliminate that, I won't name the comic, but I'll tell you there's one that you can watch.
The redheaded dude, the carrot dude.
Oh, yeah, there's another one.
Does he Botox?
I think he does a lot.
Oh my God. That guy's a tragedy. That guy is a tragedy.
Hey,
seen
Eddie,
him-
in
I've
all
seen him-
seriousness, is it uncomfortable? I'm uncomfortable around those women that don't look like women anymore. Do you
Yeah.
in LA's full of those? Do you make eye contact with those ones? You know, their mouths look like the Joker and all that stuff. And I'm not even saying this to be mean, but
No,
like
I know. I agree. I pulled up next to one in Malibu at the red light yesterday, and I looked.
You mean every day?
I looked over at her yesterday, and I was like, "You look like a monster." And then I saw her little girl in the passenger seat with her, and I was like, "Oh, that poor girl has to wait." Like every day, look at mom and be like, "What's mom becoming?" Like I guess you can look at her like mom's getting old, and she's like, "Mom's turning into a statue."
Do you guys remember the movie Escape from LA?
No.
I remember Escape from New
What?
York.
Come on, Escape from LA with Snake Plissken, probably one of the greatest films of all time. And there's this like scene where basically there's this doctor that takes people and does a lot of plastic surgery to them and kind of like mutilates them. And everybody, like, it was supposed to be super scary. They're like, "Oh my God, this is what people look like. They've been like doctored up by a crazy, plastic surgeon." And that's what LA looks like now. Like that was part of a horror scene in a movie, and now that's literally like common ground that I walk on.
I have a question for Sevan. Sevan, we've only been recording for.
Oh shit! You've disabled my share screen.
What do you mean?
You've censored me.
I don't know.
I wanted to pull up the Escape from New York. I wanted to do the producer role and like beef up your podcast a little bit with some graphics, and it says I'm blocked.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
In 3 minutes and
straight.
3 minutes and 22 seconds that we've been podcasting, is this more fun already than you've had in total recording with Matt Frazier and who else were you? What was your other podcast?
Josh Bridges.
Josh Bridges and Matt Frazier.
Do I get to choose from other questions? It's not fair to say that. Listen, you're making me sweat a little bit. It wasn't fun, but the best things in life aren't fun. It wasn't bad. I'm not saying the opposite. Let's not speak with that American mind of such harsh duality. But it was a little bit of work. It was navigating.
You were really funny on it.
Okay, thank you.
I saw the time when you gave Frazier shit for not mentioning you. Oh no, I got my yelling kid. You gave Frazier shit for not mentioning your show on Rogan, which would have sent your show through the roof. There's like 50 million people listening to that show. You would have had 1 million downloads on that episode, your next episode, and he never mentioned it.
Oh, Eddie's so good, isn't he?
Yeah, he's cutting me deep right now.
Tell him.
You were funny though. You gave him shit for it. It was hilarious.
Oh, dude,
you're unraveling friendships right now.
No, I'm not.
It was beyond the fact that he never promoted it, the fact that he never talked about it on Rogan. I mean, you're going to start me in on what he did on Rogan, and it was just a fucking mess. But here's the thing. On the flip side, here I'm a fucking guy who the New York Times fucking wrote a paragraph about me, fucking tearing me up. It caused me to lose my job. I was fucking richer than fucking the 1% of the 1%. And I was fucking great at my job, and I worked 24 hours a day, and I'm a fucking peaceful, loving, fucking go-getter man. I'm the shit. And
damn.
Spreading health and wealth. And these fucking idiots, fucking the woke fucking crowd, morons who can't take personal accountability and responsibility for their life, got me fucking in a bent over and lubed me and tried to stick me in the back vagina.
What did you get fired for? And
Fraser was nice enough. That's really the way I take it, to do a podcast with me. Here's a guy who has no shit stuck to him. And I even asked him a few times, what the fuck are you doing going on a podcast with me?
Yeah, that was crazy of him.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't give
even my mom's like, has he lost his mind going on with you? But
I think
he said he wanted to experience a little bit of freedom. He said he wanted to experience freedom. I think those were his exact words. I think a lot of people, that's the thing. I mean, being me is fucking awesome because I'm free. But it comes with like, you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna be able to sell M&Ms anymore.
I
know
mean,
what I mean?
But he's on the corporate tit, and he's got to be. I mean, that's how you make your money. But he's on the biggest corporate tit there is, which is Nike. And Nike, Nike dictates how you step. You know, like right, left. And
at this point, I don't even think it's financially valuable for him anymore. He's probably doing so well with his independent businesses. You don't really need to be attached.
He still can't tell the truth, though. He can't say that obese people are the collapse of modern civilization.
Damn right.
Like you can't say that, and it's true. It's on emotional, physical, intellectual. It is the biggest handicap in civilization right now. 70% of Americans are obese. They get on airplanes. They sew airplanes down. They fucking hate themselves, and then instead of working on themselves, they project it outward. It's a fucking disaster. But I love obese people. I don't even find obese people unattractive. Like I love a fat girl, but
yeah, we like big girls.
But
oh, you do, Hunter.
But you can't say that if you're selling M&Ms. You cannot say that. You can't be honest. You have to actually lie, and I don't do that anymore. I try not to.
You know, I found there are topics in
integrity.
There are topics in comedy that are really, really difficult to do, and it depends on the timing. And
fat shaming,
where we are as a society. The hardest joke to ever make in the past 10 years was like, you could do religious jokes, you could do abortion jokes, you could do whatever, but trying to do jokes about the troops used to be really, really difficult prior to about 2015.
Like the U.S. military? Is that
yeah. You couldn't make a joke about anybody who served, anybody in the military. They were immune to criticism. And then all of a sudden, something turned. Oh, you got some missiles there? And then all of a sudden you could make fun of that. But you know what is really one of the hardest, like most off limits subjects is fat. You cannot make fun of fat on stage. The only person I've seen get away with it, it was Bill Burr did it on Conan one night. And it was really funny. And I was like, wow, he really pushed through. Like Conan even was like, what are you doing? What are you doing making fun of fat people? And Bill Burr was like, I don't care. And he just kept going. And he made a really funny point about it. But I've tried for years to make fun of like The Biggest Loser and the fact that we celebrate fat people and like the fact that we don't talk about it, that all our healthcare problems and costs are because of that. Like I try
bad thinking. All COVID thinking is every thought around COVID is fat
safety.
Yeah, fat safety. Yeah, it has nothing to do with there is no COVID in terms of the issue. COVID is a symptom, and yet it was treated like the issue because of fat people. But it's not an issue. It's a symptom. It's a symptom. You only die from COVID because you're fat. Only. Oh, but I know a guy I saw in the New York Times who wasn't fat. Okay, so you know one, but you don't really know him. The New York Times reported that.
There is a guy that died from California that was like one of the guys from Italy. That was on that Italy ski trip that got it and died. And he was a pretty healthy young man. Like we don't know what his real health
Is this
was.
the gay? Is this the gay guy?
I don't know, but every single person has referenced him that they like know he's that guy that
He's an actor,
knows.
right? He's a Broadway actor. Yeah. So I talked to someone who knows him. They're like, dude,
that's everybody.
That guy had a coke habit.
I was about to say,
your
he
nose would
definitely
be
had,
jealous
he
of.
definitely had some extracurricular activities that basically wrecked his heart and all those other kind of things. I mean, listen.
But he's the guy, everyone's go-to guy when you're like, no, it's mostly, you know, like comorbidities. And when they say comorbidities, that's more than one. You know, like 2, 3, 4, you know, and obesity. When you say that, they're like, no, I know a guy who died. And you're like, is it that same guy? And it was always that same guy. He was like patient zero that everyone uses as their example.
Have we all agreed that this thing's over now, though? Is it over?
It's coming back.
No. It's not over.
As soon as Russia pulls out of the Ukraine, it'll come back. This podcast is brought to you by 8 Sleep. Good sleep is the ultimate game changer. How about this? More than 30% of Americans struggle with sleep and temperature. It's one of the main causes of poor sleep. I hate a cold bed. I want to get in warm. I don't like to stay warm though. And I like to wake up warm. How can you do that? You know, maybe put lots of covers on, throw them off in the middle of the night, put them back on. Not with 8 Sleep. You don't do that. This thing monitors your body temperature, takes care of you, set to the way you like it. I am falling asleep faster than I ever have before. I have the data to prove it. And it's all thanks to my 8 Sleep Pod Pro cover. The Pod Pro cover by 8 Sleep is the most advanced solution on the market for thermoregulation. It pairs dynamic cooling and heating with biometric tracking. You can add the cover to any mattress and start sleeping as cool as 55 degrees Fahrenheit or as hot as 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And let me tell you, I've done both because I like it. The temperature of the cover will adjust each side of the bed. So I have my own side, my wife has her own side. And then based on your sleep stages, biometrics, and bedroom temperature, reacting intelligently, it creates the optimal sleeping environment. And here's the result. 8 Sleep users fall asleep up to 32% faster. Okay. It reduces sleep interruptions by 40%, and you just get overall more restful sleep. I get to read my data on my app every day to see how I'm doing because it's really important to me that I get good sleep. Last night, I almost had a perfect night of sleep, but I did have a sleep interruption. I woke up because my dog was puking on the floor. And I had to go clean up puke in the middle of the night. But other than that, I probably got like, I got to see what I got. I think I got probably, I'll bet you I got like a 90% because I slept well last night. Oh my God, did I sleep well? So I go into the app, and the app, I usually look at it every morning when I wake up to see how I did. So last night I had an 89% sleep fitness. Now, a lot of times I'll be sick, or I'll have something like a cold or a little bit of a temp, and it'll tell me, it knows by my heart rate variability how I'm doing. And it'll even tell me, it'll be like, hey, are you a little off right now? Because you might. And the next thing I know, I'm like, oh my God, I got a cold. So my bed tells me before anything else. It's amazing. The Pod Pro cover by 8 Sleep is so popular. It's garnered the attention of CEOs, high performers, and some of the top CrossFitters are all using this. People like Justin Medeiros, who's the fittest man on earth. It's just amazing. And if you want to perform athletically or just be healthier, there's no better way to do it. This is a game changer. Go to 8sleep.com/WODcast. That's 8sleep.com/WODcast. Check out the Pod Pro cover. Save $150 at checkout. That's $150 off. 8sleep.com/WODcast. That's 8EIGHTSLEEP.com/WODcast. You're going to get $150 off.
Dude, people want to be scared so bad. People want to be scared so bad.
So bad. They love it. They love
I'm
it.
in Texas. I'm in Texas right now, South by Southwest, I think it's called. And it's packed. Bars are packed. Events are packed. Live concerts are packed. No one gives a damn.
Hey, let's cheer this up a little bit. This is a comedic podcast. Let's cheer this up a little bit. What do you think about the dudes who are just fucking smashing all the women in sports now?
I just read that. I just read this article, and there's all these Twitter things, and they're like, congratulations to the girl who really took first place. It's the guy out of fucking Princeton.
Penn.
It's Princeton or Penn, just
Penn.
dominating.
And he was
what's his name? Leah something? Leah Thompson. Thomas?
Oh,
I don't know. Google him. He apparently he was like 300th in the world when he was a man, and now he's number 1 as a woman. And
did you guys ever see the South Park skit with Macho Man Randy Savage coming in and doing female sports?
No.
It's so good. They're like, Tiffany, how do you feel? He's like, I'm here to crush everybody. It's so good. It's so good. You have to watch it. You gotta enhance the screen, Sevan, and put that on right now, because it's exactly what's going on right now.
Censor. The Eddie If podcast has censor.
I don't know how to do it. I don't know. Gallery view, baby.
It's heartbreaking.
Hey, this podcast right here is actually an Eddie If social experiment. He's a chemist, and or a cook, or however you think of it. But like, he normally just has pancakes and syrup every morning, and today he's like, you know what? I'm gonna put sardines on it this morning just cause.
No, I went. Here's dynamite. Here's a wick. I'll be the match. But wait, let's get back to the dudes in sports, or the chicks with dicks.
Let me read it to you real quick, and then you can run with it. Amid protest, Penn swimmer Leah Thomas becomes first known transgender athlete to win Division I national championship. I'm pretty sure transgender means, I wish they would just say it. I don't like these words that point to things. Like if you were my brother, I'd rather they just say the dude who also came out of your mom's vagina after your dad blasted her 9 months earlier. But they have the word sister instead of brother. But that means this is the first known transgender athlete. That means it was a dude who now claims to be a woman because it had its penis cut off. Is that?
No, they don't have to have their penis cut off.
That's what to say. I was like, I wonder. I don't remember, but it's kind of gray area, dude. Like, you have to have been going through hormone therapy for like X amount of months to now be considered viable. But the thing that, like, I don't think anybody really wants to, I don't know why nobody wants to admit this, but like, we all remember what it was like to be like 11, and then we all remember what it was like to be like 14. Like, all of a sudden we had hair all over our bodies. We looked like girls when we were 11. And then all of a sudden at 14, we had hair all over our bodies, and we had like muscles, and like my nuts dropped. Like, I changed completely. You can't. And then if you live like that for fucking a decade, with all those hormones going through your body, like I hit puberty when I was like a second puberty when I was 18, and I shot up from 5'11", 165 to 6'2", 215. Like,
damn.
I completely transformed. And I was like, if you put me in the pool or maybe do sports with anybody else, like, you can't. I mean, I'm a guy. I fucking dominate.
Well, you know what I like about this is we originally created women's sports to give them an opportunity, and this is going to get to the point where they're just going to.
Women's swimming was created actually so we could look at them in bathing suits, but pretend like we care about their athleticism. But go on.
I didn't know that, but
that's what volleyball is.
But now what's going to happen is they're going to have to make it to a certain point. It's going to have to be genderless sports where all genders compete against each other. And then
sexless sports. Sexless.
And then women will lose all their opportunity to play sports.
We already have genderless sports, I just want to be clear on that. All sports are genderless. You can be whatever gender you want in any sport. Gender is a social construct in between your ears. It's fake. Like Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, you need to come to my house. Because my daughter, I didn't raise him with the gender. My daughter wears pink, sings. She's compassionate. My son will hit you. Put a rock in his hand, he'll hit you in the face with it. They are the gender. I do not believe that gender argument. I did not raise my kids like, say, you're a boy and you're a girl at all, and they became a boy and a girl. And I do believe people have, excessive testosterone or excessive estrogen, and that they do see themselves. I do believe that. I do believe people feel more towards one sex than the other. But this whole transitioning idea, especially when it comes to sports,
of course you feel more one sex than the other. But what those rules are mean nothing. Like, I dress my kids like Baryshnikov, because when I was raised, a Baryshnikov is the most masculine motherfucker in the world. Black tights, a fucking wife beater, just hanging out with women and
Who's
slaying
Baryshnikov?
hoes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Was he?
And he
Was this
yeah,
the Russian guy that was like really
yes.
famous and was like the most dominant ballerina of all time?
Yes, and
Yeah.
just
I was just
straight
listening
as an
about that.
and straight as an arrow. But so I dress my boys in girls black tights and wife beaters, and there's fucking magic. What I'm saying is that the no, and of course boys want to throw rocks more than girls, but I don't think that that's these are just we should just see this still as just thoughts and ideas. We should never see it as truth. The truth is that you either have a penis or you have a vagina, or you're like
What if you have both? What if you have
Hunter
both?
and you have some semblance of both.
Damn right,
And so-
baby.
Hunter has
So
a
Can you
are
put
you-
your penis in your vagina, Hunter? Can you?
Hunter has a giant clit that looks like
Me too. Me too.
Have you guys ever seen that video where the guy poops out his own balls?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is such a graphic video, but I tried after that. I was like, I can't even get back there.
You got to lube them up.
He shoved
I
his
can't
balls
even-
in his
I
butthole.
can't get back there. Dude, he takes both of them and they're like these big, perfect, like goose eggs. They're like much bigger and like shinier than normal balls. And he's just sitting there and you kind of see from the back, you're like, wait, what's that? And then slow-mo, they both pop out and they like swing down and then bounce off the undercarriage of them. It's graphic, but I was like, I have to try. And
Hey,
I
wait,
couldn't even.
I want to
couldn't
say,
reach.
this is officially my favorite podcast ever.
Is that a byproduct of the pandemic? Is that what quarantine causes?
No, what quarantine causes is Eddie sends me most of the stuff. You know what the other most awful video Eddie ever sent me? I think it was guys who were at they're at a sexual party where they're all kind of having fun with each other, and a dude just walks up and takes his whole arm and from fingertip to elbow and then back out of another man's rear end like it is nothing.
Oh man, subject change. Holy shit.
I've talked to Dr. Drew about that because we had the talk about anal sex, and he was saying that it's really bad for your rectum. And
Of course it is.
and he's like, it's not healthy. And I was like,
I want to see David. Was it David Blaine? Was David Blaine one of the guys, of the two guys involved in that?
I'll send you the video. It's awesome.
No.
Yeah, you get it.
No.
You're getting it.
Hey, so
It goes
So
up
li-
so easy. Like, it's like, how does the guy? My question was, and I'm not being like,
It's as if he has like a teleporter in his butt because it disappears.
but what I mean is,
David Blaine for
how
sure.
does this guy keep food in? It would seem like he would just eat and it would fall out of his ass.
I feel like that happens to me sometimes.
No,
That happened to me when I was 25 for about a year straight.
really?
Just ate and stuff.
You
Yeah, I was filming that show Boundless, and I was doing ultra marathons all over the world, and I just had exhausted my body to the point where it didn't really have like muscular connection anymore, and I shit myself probably half a dozen times.
Do you get
Like-
comfortable with that? Like the first time it's embarrassing, and the third time you're like, all right.
Third time I just had my girlfriend who was with me just like have to like wipe my ass. We were in a botanical garden in Scotland. And I was like, it's everywhere. Like, I need your help. I wasn't even embarrassed anymore. It was just one of those kind of things where I was like, this is my life now.
This is when you Google Leah Thomas penis, the fourth entry says she doesn't always cover up her male parts. She still dates women. So it's a he. It's not, I'm not calling it a she. It's if it still dates women and it has a penis. I don't feel comfortable calling it a she anyway. But
I wonder what the
from what I've
backlash of
read,
this
he
whole
still
day is going to be.
from what
My
I've read, he still has a penis and dates women and laughs behind closed doors about that. He gets to screw women in two ways. That's what it says on swimmingworldmagazine.com.
My 15-year-old nephew was talking to his sister and I about she's applying for colleges right now, and she's like a quarter Hispanic. She's Peruvian, a quarter Peruvian. And they were talking about how, like schools tend to look for diversity when they're taking applicants. And she's like, well, I'm a quarter Hispanic. Maybe that'll help me get in. And my nephew goes, why don't you just completely say you're something else? Like say you're 100% something. And he goes, this is the best time. And he's 15. He goes, this is the best time to do this. Because if they try to argue with you, you can create a huge stink about it and be like, that's how I see myself. I see myself as this blah, blah, blah. And they won't have any argument because they're these liberal universities. It'll be like, okay, we have to accept her. She sees her-
Scholarship. She'll get a scholarship.
Yeah,
I never went to college, so I should probably reapply
you went. What
for a
call-
year.
You went to where's Trinity? Where'd you
No, I
go?
went to Rhode Island College for a year, but I want to finish my degree. All right, this is my time. Don't be judging.
Are you really?
Don't waste your time.
Yeah, it's such
No, I wouldn't. I just read the books that I want to. It would have been nice to. I probably have just gone through NCAA's. That would have been nice. Not during the times that we're going through right now, because obviously it's very weird. So, do you try?
Wait. What sport would you have competed in?
Probably cross country and wrestling.
Oh shit! I would love to see you wrestle.
Oh, I've seen it.
We've had
You
a lot
good?
of fun.
I've
We've had a
seen
lot
it
of fun,
few
dude.
times.
During COVID, I went to Joe DeSenda, the founder of Spartan Race. He has like a wrestling camp now, and he had this Olympic gold medalist. I don't know if it's Olympic gold medalist. He lives at his place and trains all the kids. And I went there and I was like,
It's called Foxcatcher. We've seen the movie.
I was like, I can beat you. So I went there and I did wrestling camp with them. And like I trained with him for a couple of days, and I was kicking ass for a while. But then we actually had our match, and he fucking wrecked me. Like it was, oh my God.
What was his weight? Did you outweigh him?
I outweighed him probably by 15 to 20 pounds.
Wow.
He's probably weighing like 190 and I was 215 maybe.
And he could just control your weight.
Oh yeah.
It was just so crazy. It was just like, it was like I was like a 3-legged table. Like I just wasn't balanced like him. He was so sturdy. He could just tip me over at any point that he wanted to. His leverage, his hand contact, with every aspect of my body, I was powerless. Because I would like get a hold of him and I would just pull, and like I would like, you could feel like his bones like kind of collapsing underneath him. And then all of a sudden he would just put his leg out in front of my leg and I would tip over. Or like I would have my hand on the ground and he would just reach across my body and connect my leg and my neck together. And now all of a sudden I was in a cradle. Like he just was, and I wrestled for a long time, but he saw things before I even did things. He just caught me every time.
What was his name? Do you remember?
Andy Rovat.
Oh, that used to be a woman. Andy went through transition.
Yeah, I wish. No, Andy's actually a really, really good guy.
Did he win the gold medal?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he either won world championships or gold medal in the Olympics. Like
I'll get to the bottom of this.
he was the real deal.
Are you guys looking to get into CBD? CBD is, when we're talking about rehabilitation, recovery, anything like that. There is one name that you need to get in your head, and that's CBD MD. CBD MD is the leader. They are the leader when it comes to CBD. I looked everywhere. And when it comes to everyday wellness, CBD MD is committed to helping you stay on top of your game every day. Everyone from top CrossFit legends like Annie Thorisdottir, Justin Medeiros, to everyday athletes just like you turn to CBD MD to give them the quality support they need to recover like a pro. All right. So whether you're pushing for a PR or just starting your fitness journey, you can always turn to your new friends at CBD MD to help you get quality rest, relaxation, and recovery, no matter what you're dealing with. The science is out there, people. Do your research just like I did, and it'll lead you all to CBD MD. They've got everything you need. A lot of people are talking melatonin these days. I learned all about melatonin in Matthew Walker's book about how it basically gets you to the starting line of your sleep. And it tells you, hey, it's time to start sleeping. And we're all on this, clock. We all have a clock that tells us, when we sleep and when we wake. And it's an internal clock that we all have, and it's based on sunlight and dark. But sometimes we get thrown off. Like if you fly a lot and you get jet lag, and this is the best thing to do. CBD MD's got melatonin and CBD in it. So there's so much stuff out there that you can get. Sometimes people need it for their pets. You got cats and dogs need it. They've got skincare. My wife uses the lip balm. She says it's the best lip balm she's ever used, but they have all kinds of skincare, body care. Check them out. Go to cbdmd.com. They've got tinctures. They've got gummies. They've got topicals. They've got sleep aids. They've got capsules. They've got bundles. They got bath products. They've got a drink mix. Everything you need is right there at CBD MD. Check them out. Go to cbdmd.com. That's cbdmd.com. The promo code WOD, you're going to get 25% off your purchase of superior CBD products from CBDMD. That's 25% off. Go to cbdmd.com and use WOD at checkout, WOD. In the sport, they almost took out of the Olympics too.
Dude, I mean, wrestling has got to be the most challenging sport in the Olympics. That and Nordic skiing.
Is that true? Did they really do that? I heard that wasn't true. That they didn't.
No, they definitely tried to take it out, and there was a big fight that was put up by everyone, even people that never watched wrestling in their life. Was like, this is one of the original events of the Olympics, and you're putting in, you know, these. Have you ever watched the double luge? Where the two
it's
guys,
Andy Horvat, the same as Laura Horvat. Sorry. Yes,
it's Andy Rovat. Yes. It's HROVAT.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eddie.
I'm talking about the double luge where the two guys just like one's a bottom and one's a top, and they just
we both spit in Hunter's mouth at the same time. The double luge.
Not the butt, baby. Hey, we got to tell you, Eddie and I have been working together about trying to get me into the Olympics, and I've now talked to one guy who's like a 4-time Olympic gold medalist and another guy who
let me set this up properly. Hunter is at the point in his career, Sevan, where he needs something big to like sell his book that he's writing. And so he figures a gold medal is going to put him over the top. Now,
this has nothing to do with the book, dude.
No,
it's just because I'm done.
But he wants a gold medal. And so because he's got the VO2 max and the strength and everything, there's an event out there for him. Like if I ran qualifying time for the Olympics when I was in college, but I could never have qualified in the United States because I was probably like 200th in the country. But if I moved to Equatorial Guinea, I might be number one there if I became an Equatorial Guinea citizen. So what Hunter's trying to do is he's trying to find a sport where he could dominate with his strength and size, where, you know how like a lot of sports, like, did you see the skeleton in high school? Remember the skeleton team? No, yes. It didn't exist. There are so many sports in the Olympics that is like a small club that doesn't let anybody in. And it's just this group of people that have been doing it their whole life. And if it was,
he told me about the one he's going to choose.
Yes.
So like I
actually looked it up. You what?
I'm deep in it now, where literally like I'm talking to all these Olympians. I'm going over to Europe this summer to go train with them. Like it's on like Donkey Kong.
Sprint kayaking,
canoeing.
I see. I typed in a list of all the Olympic sports, and I see is it there's 2 kayak. Wow.
Sprint
Kayaking
canoeing.
gets 2.
Sprint canoeing.
I just see canoe flatwater, canoe slalom. Are you slalom or flat?
It's going to be a song going, buff guy in a little boat. Buff guy.
He has yet to ever be in a boat so far.
Yet to be in a boat. But
oh my goodness. There's some. Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
There's a girl who's on the cover of this as like the poster child for it. Lisa Carrington.
She the girl that won at 18 years old?
I don't know, but she might be super attractive.
There's a girl that won the gold medal. She might have been 17, Sevan. You might want to.
She was 19. She was 19. That's pretty impressive. 19-year-old.
Yeah, this chick. Wow, this chick looks like a CrossFitter. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this chick's incredible.
I'm working my way into the Olympics, guys.
Sevan, you'll know this.
Oh my God.
Tia Claire Toomey. Did she make the bobsled team for Australia?
So this is what I heard, and no one should take this as fact. I heard she made the team. She qualified. She was whatever she needed to do to, like, here's the test. She passed it and she won. But that still doesn't guarantee it to you. The people, the Olympic Committee in Australia still gets to choose, and they didn't choose her. So I heard that she thought she got in, but they chose someone who had more experience.
Well, I know James Newberry was trying too, and I watched a lot of his like training and going. I mean, he went over during COVID when he'd have to.
The Olympics are bullshit.
It is very, very
such bullshit.
It is a very, very difficult system. Like,
I haven't watched the Olympics probably in 15 years. I think it's stupid. I'm embarrassed for those athletes who commit their life to it. Not you, obviously, Hunter. Yours is kind of a more
exhibition.
yours is part of one of the cogs on the wheel. But these people who fucking dedicate, poor Ronda Rousey, thank God it turned out good for her. She dedicates her whole life to fucking judo, wins the fucking Olympics, and comes back and is basically suicidal and has to sell her medal.
She sold her medal?
It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she sold her medal.
Well, we used to give CrossFitters shit because, you know, there was a giant swath of CrossFitters that were competing for the CrossFit Games for this, like, you know, purse of money that was only available to like the top 0.00001%. And everybody else was devoting their life working out three times a day to make pennies. And then you look at the Olympic athletes, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Dude,
and also because that ecosystem is massive.
Yeah.
Well, over in other countries, though, you have to understand, like, you're just looking at it from the United States. In other countries, like, I just
That's all that
finished
matters,
getting
Hunter.
up.
That's all that matters.
Well, dude, you get put into a military system and you are a military athlete. You're not really in the military. They pay you a whole stipend. And every single time you do something that's more beneficial for the country on behalf of your sport, you get bonuses. You all of a sudden go from a Toyota Camry to a Mercedes, and then
I heard you win a
Lexus.
gold in Russia. You have a lifetime, like you have $25,000 a year for the rest of your life, or something like that. I think it's kind of cool.
I could be wrong, but I believe in Russia and China they biopsy them too, and they just find out at a young age, like you have the ability to be
your muscle fibers, all that kind of stuff.
And they biopsy.
They used to do it with training camps.
Yeah, and they do go, okay, like why are we going to waste our time with this guy when this guy's going to be good? It's like greyhounds, you know, they just put them to sleep.
Well, yeah.
Has anything happened? Has anything happened in this show already where two of us are going to get off afterwards and call the other and be like, "Oh my fucking God.
I can't believe he said that.
Holy fuck.
Let's talk about Glassman and we can do that. Where is he now? We want to know where he is.
I think he's just sitting in a big pile of money with his beautiful wife and his beautiful kids.
I love that guy.
Looking at the world and being like, what the fuck? He's actually working on some awesome stuff right now. He's I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but he's basically working on a curriculum that talks about what science is, because obviously people don't know what science is in this country.
Nobody does know what
science is. The smartest people in the world, John Ioannidis out of Stanford, will tell you that the whole COVID thing is a complete fucking shit show hoax. I mean, did you even see this guy out of Stanford 2 days ago? His name is Baccaria. They fucking have now found COVID in blood samples from way early 2019 in Italy. The fucking coronavirus. It's the whole thing is a fucking joke. Anyway, he's working on curriculum for kids so kids don't get fucking confused anymore. That they're not they don't read the USA Today science. They don't believe lefties like.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. No.
I'm just saying.
Eddie, let's talk about how Hunter always cuts us off. After
he does
show.
cut us off.
Hunter,
hold on, Hunter. I want to say that I think it's really funny that the two guys that created this thing that everybody lives by, which is CrossFit and the CrossFit Games. There's two factions of CrossFit. There's CrossFit as the lifestyle and CrossFit as the methodology, and then there's CrossFit as the sport. And the two guys that created it have been, and it always amazes me that it's a private company and these guys owned the company and they are no longer, well, I mean, Greg owned it, but the two of them are no longer with the company.
Dude, they got corporate rated, dude.
But
they literally overnight
how does that
got
happen
corporate
when you own the company? I don't.
Well, he sold it. He didn't want to stick around.
You froze.
Yeah. He's gone, dude.
It's Sevan. We lost him.
Right some of the
okay, he's back.
And some of the affiliates got angry at him. He should have said, "Fuck you. I won't tolerate being called racist. Get the fuck out of here." And he could have let 1,000 affiliates leave. But man, he's 65 years old, and someone offered him, which is crazy, a fucking ton of money right before the pandemic, and he sold it. I mean, he couldn't have sold it at a better time, but he didn't have to. He didn't have to.
The coolest thing about him is he sold out, and he could have just hit the hills.
Sold out's a little harsh.
No, I'm just saying he sold out. He sold out of it. You're misusing my version of this. He got out.
Just listen to your words, Hunter.
He's still getting after it. He's still going after and still putting his message out there. Dude, many people could have taken their money.
Hold on. I'm going to go back to, and I think the guy created an amazing thing and an amazing methodology. And but I'm gonna say sold out a little bit because he put up a fight against Coca-Cola and he didn't give a shit about money, right? It was money's not the object. Why did he give up? Why didn't he fight the good fight?
He's no longer part of the corporation.
Two reasons, and I'll tell you why. My thought. Age, right? Like, fuck, dude. Like, do I really have this fight me? And people inside, his own people were fucking scared and turned on him. It really was, being in there was really fucking amazing. The analogy I use is this: imagine we're in a room with 50 of our closest friends, and some guy walks into a room with a gun and starts shooting. Jesus. And you get to see what everyone's their reaction is. So I look over, and my best friend Eddie If, that I think is the greatest warrior of all time, picks up his kid and hides behind his kid. And all of a sudden I'm like, whoa.
That's not my friend.
That changes my whole perspective. And that's what we saw when we worked there. Greg saw people who, we all saw people who, everyone had their own crazy. I was in a car one time that broke down on the Mombasa-Nairobi highway. And I was in that car with 8 people and our driver, who's a black person. And 6 of those people in the fucking car, and it wasn't the driver and it wasn't me, screamed like they thought we were going to die because our car broke down in Africa. And they jumped out of the car and they ran into another car, and that car drove off. And I was left there on the side of the road.
Sevan.
And to this day, I think about that. I'm like, wow, those people were just pussies. That's how scared, and that's how people are. You don't mind if I put in a breath mint, do you?
No, but you just explained.
I want a mint so bad now.
You just explained something that I did in Africa. No joke, in Durban, Africa.
You abandoned all your friends?
We had 2 vans, and we took one van from the casino where we were performing, and we were going back to the hotel. We had to drive through a township, which is like a ghetto. And we're driving through the township, and our van runs out of gas. And we didn't have cell phones at the time. It was like way back when. Somebody like one guy had a cell phone, and the driver didn't have a cell phone. And we're like, what are we going to do? And he's like, I don't know. And we're like, we just sit here? And I was on crutches. And everyone else could run. I had a broken ankle. And all these guys are like climbing fences and coming over to see what's going on. And we're starting to freak out. One guy gets cell service on his cell phone. He calls him. He's like, bring us gas. Bring us gas. So the other van comes from, they were at a convenience store. They show up. The driver has a 1-liter Pepsi bottle full of gas. That's the gas they brought.
That's enough.
And and as soon as I see that, I go, oh, fuck this. And I get out with my crutches, and I get out of my van, and I get in the van behind us. I'm like, fuck all of you. I can't run. I'm not staying here to die. So I was that guy, and I get it. But I see what you're saying, because I've always said that about comedians. I wouldn't want to be in a foxhole with most comedians. I don't trust them. I want someone who's going to fight with me and stand the ground. And I see it all the time during cancel culture.
How about just not panic when there's nothing to panic about? Like, if you're panicking about what's between your ears instead of what's in front of you, you're retarded.
It takes 2 or 3 days.
This whole thing happened to me during COVID with all my friends. All my friends that I thought were like the coolest people on earth, because we were like pirates. Like, we travel around the world going to awesome races and take the money that they had to offer.
Eating pussy of random women.
That's
You're
right.
afraid of COVID, and you ate some bitch's fucking twat in fucking Iceland. Are you out of your fucking mind?
I've never been to Iceland, so that's a fake story.
Not you. I meant like one of your buddies.
Yeah, but I'm saying, as soon as the stories ended and the fun times ended, everyone started to kind of turn on each other and got really fucking weird. That's why I'm just in Texas. This is the first time I've actually gone out of my house in like 2 years.
And those people in Texas are the ones that should be afraid, those fat motherfuckers.
There's actually not that many fat people here, dude. Austin's like a beautiful city.
And look at the rest of the state.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
I'm so sick of Texas claiming to be like, oh, you want to be free? Come to Austin. Yeah, try to get an abortion there.
Yeah. I just live up in the hills of California.
We've been talking about just heavy shit. Let's move to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you want to hear something fucked up?
Hold on. Please. We've got an Armenian here. He's got a good point of view.
No, tell me, Hunter. Show us your penis, and then we'll move on. Yeah. We'll take a small break and look at your penis.
All about you, Hunter.
So I was listening to the Daily, which is probably a manipulated version of media as well. And
the worst. Stop listening to them 2 years ago. Scumbags of the highest order, racist, homophobic pieces of shit. What's the guy's name? Something Barbaro.
I don't know.
He
But
is a horrible racist. He imposes he imposes his thoughts onto other ethnicities and races and demands that they live down to his expectations. That they live down to his expectations. And he's a vile human being. Anytime you hear someone argue someone else's limitations for them, which is what the New York Times does from the time they turn on the lights to the time they turn them off, they are a vile human being. You should believe in people. You should love your fellow man. You should not continue the fucking narrative that they're fucking weak and feeble. Sorry, Hunter, go on.
Oh,
you got him.
I actually agree with Sevan there.
You got him there.
You actually agree with me? You actually agree with me? I'm offended.
You get about 1 out of 10.
I wasn't ready for any of this. I was going to tell you some kind of like far-fetched conspiracy theory story.
Yeah.
And you guys
I doubt it's far-fetched.
Go ahead. What is it?
So I was listening to the piece about the woman who is tied to Epstein. I cannot remember her name, but she is supposedly like the
Maxwell.
Yes, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Right.
And I was like,
she got big old titties. Go on.
Does she really?
Yeah, huge.
Shit, I'm doing my research after this. So I basically was listening, and they were like, hey, they're really trying to suppress this story. And then shortly thereafter, Russia went into Ukraine. Putin went into Ukraine. I was like, what if this is just a cover up because Putin is somehow part of this whole Epstein thing and doesn't want all the documents to come out, and she's going to like drop all the names and he's going to be one of the people top of the list. And I was like, that'd be the perfect way to get away with not getting taken into court. You just go into international war and everything gets dropped.
Do you think Putin would care about that? He'd be like, yeah, I was there.
No, but everybody's tied. Everybody, they were trying to say is everyone's tied in on this thing, and they're about to drop this fucking huge chunk of information with all the names. It was my own
open to it all. I'm open to it all. The fact that the FDA on their Instagram account 5 days ago put that it's National Cereal Day and recommended that kids eat cereal, and it shows it's Asian hate, by the way. It showed a little Asian kid eating a bowl of cereal, which is
that's an Asian hate.
Well, because it's the same. It's systemic racism at its finest, at its core. It's showing I'm using their thought process, not mine. That when you show a little Asian kid eating a bowl of cereal, you're telling all little Asian kids it's okay to eat a bowl of cereal. When at the root, that's we go back to how the show started. That is the collapse of our society. And even look how cereal was created and why it was created. Have you guys looked into the Kellogg Company?
No, but I'm fascinated.
They're completely transparent about it. Cereal is created to fucking reduce masturbation. That is the fucking foundation of fucking cereal. Yes.
I gave up masturbation for Lent, guys. I gave up masturbation for Lent. It's been weeks since I've touched myself.
Hold on. You jump in with that, Hunter. That's a bad interruption.
What do you think I've been doing? I've been eating cereal.
I want to know how, because I need to eat more cereal to stop masturbating so much. Why
hey and huge proponent of circumcision for the same reason. That is the basis of circumcision too.
Can you please tell us how masturbation and cereal go hand in hand? See how
it's just the act of doing something different.
No, there's something in the Dr. Kellogg fucking made cereal. They believe that eating excessive carbohydrates and something that it does with your insulin. There's a whole thing on it that would suppress basically your desire to masturbate. And he kind of got it right too, because eventually leads to type 2 diabetes, which makes it so your dick can't get hard. But what's weird about dudes is they'll still stroke a limp dick. So
did you
gonna quit on it?
Did you read this on 4chan or 8chan?
No. You can find this anywhere. What's 4chan? Is that
dude? I used to go on 4chan all the time as a kid, and we would just look at like weird hentai drawings. We're like, damn, does that dragon have titties?
What's 4chan?
4chan is where QAnon started.
Dude,
also the number 4 TRAN.
You won't find it.
4chan. I think it's 4chan.net.
It's closed. They closed it and made 8chan.
I don't go to Reddit either. I never, if someone sends me a link to Reddit or Facebook, I don't go.
Why are you anti-Reddit?
Because I think it's I think Reddit is Disneyland with a section of the park that has glory holes, and I just can't. I can't put the two together. You can't have glory holes at Disneyland. What?
I can't read that format of information when they put it in like blog form. It's like, here's the question, here's like all the subsect answers, and then there's another one. I can't. My brain doesn't work that way. So I've never been a Reddit guy.
Well, there's
Well, that's at least for practical reasons. Mine are for fucking like ethical.
There's
I just think
glory
anyone who
holes
goes there is
everywhere.
a scumbag.
all right. For interest of time, let's talk about where is the future of CrossFit now in the hands of whoever and who.
You cannot control us, Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another thing,
We're
Hunter.
here for different reasons.
That he tried. Let's talk about these subjects when we get off the phone here. I'll call you and be like, dude, is Eddie always so controlling? He acts
I
like
want
this
to
is a
know,
podcast.
Sevan, we have your time. We
I owe you $1, by the way, Sevan.
because Hunter and I always pontificate about this stuff, but we know you have more inside information than us. He looks like Robin Williams right now, by the way. Do you see that?
Thank you.
Does Sevan look like Robin Williams?
My confidence has skyrocketed in the last 4 months. It's crazy.
Why?
Everyone's coming to you for information.
Because everyone says I look like Robin Williams.
Are you going for a new look? Are you growing and out thicker?
I'm gonna not shave for I'm trying to go a year with no haircut. I've just been doing a little cleaning up here of the black hairs on top of the gray and a little underneath.
Does it look like that downstairs too?
Are you Ronnie Teasdale?
No. I'm black everywhere else. Downstairs I'm black. Upstairs I'm black. Just in the middle.
But only salt and pepper up top?
Yeah.
Come on.
I wouldn't. This isn't really salt.
Who is running CrossFit right now?
So there's a couple of people. I would guess this is all guess speculation. There's no fact, but let me tell you this. That's a good question. Just now, someone sent me a fucking screenshot of something off of CrossFit HQ, and it says CFHQ US Tour. And I've been noticing this more and more over the last month. They're going back, they're changing all the vernacular back to the Glassman days, and they're getting rid of all the Rosa shit. They would have never called this CFHQ. I've been calling it CFHQ the whole time just to fuck with those idiots. Well, all the other fucking people are like, oh, it's CF Home Office. And they changed the training department to education. And HR is now like people, personality, people.
Can we first talk
People's
about
happiness.
the demise and fall of Rosa? What happened to him?
Yeah. Did he get fired?
What happened?
Yeah, he got fired.
For doing what? For eating too much Kellogg's?
Well, he gave millions of dollars to that fucking goofball Julie Fouché and her fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken husband, and they were supposed to start like a health. Everything changed in CrossFit. You have to understand, there used to be something called CF Health.
I love this inside
This
dirt.
is a perfect example. There's something that Greg created called CrossFit Health, and it was supposed to show the ills of modern medicine, right? So basically show you that all the number one leading drug in the United States, statins, it was all a scam. So he brought in all the smartest people in the world, and they showed how, hey, statins don't help. It's actually people with high cholesterol who make it past the age of 65 actually live longer than everyone else, because high cholesterol is just a correlate. It's not a cause. And it actually has, it is at the foundation of healing human beings who are sick. And so if you made it past 65 with high cholesterol, then you didn't have the other components that mix with high cholesterol that would kill you. Do you feel me on this? So especially women who live over 65 who have high cholesterol live longer than women who have low cholesterol. Those are the kinds of things that he would do and bring in, and now CrossFit Health under the new regime, which I heard CrossFit Health is now going away, is about bringing doctors in. It's like, instead of like pointing that they're wolves in sheep's clothing, Rosa had all that shit ass backwards and was like, let's bring doctors into the box and allow them to diagnose people in the box and make money off of those people. And Greg's idea was like, no, we need to turn all doctors into CrossFitters so that they know that 80% of the things that they diagnose that they think they have a cure for, they don't have a cure for. The cure is actually change of lifestyle. Everything has changed like that. And so basically Rosa was changing the whole, he didn't even know what he bought. And so basically then he fired Dave, and and that was that was the beginning of the end for him, or the end of the end for him.
Because let me
Did you ever see Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind?
Hold on. When he fired Dave, let me guess. It just fell to shit, because you got one guy that's been running this thing for so long, and you pull that's like this champagne popper. All of a sudden, fucking things going everywhere. I mean, I can just imagine the mess they had going into the games this year.
Well, there's people that people truly hate, and there's people that people love to hate. And he got the two fucking confused. Dave is a man that people love to hate.
Yeah.
And Dave is the dad that you fucking hate until you turn 22 and you're like, oh fuck, got it.
Yeah.
And they fucked up. And he provided everyone crazy leadership. He provided everyone crazy leadership when Greg was there too. Greg would fucking take Greg would be 20 years ahead of us. and Dave would be like holding down the fort. Even though it wasn't official, he had such leadership skills that like everyone turned to him in every department for leadership. And there became a power vacuum when he left. And he's also integral in the training department. And the training department is the core financial engine for CrossFit Inc. Not only because they
when you say
sell
the training department, you're talking about the education platform.
No, like the L1 certs. The
Yes,
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Education.
that's what the woke crowd calls it, Hunter. The education department. Yes, that one.
Now what's Castro
woke.
doing? Just shooting pigs?
I know. I was giving you time to address that. To either agree or disagree.
Did Castro's picture with the pig have anything to do with his firing?
That was Eddie. Eddie calls me. He's like, "Do you see his pig picture?" He's like, "This is it. This is the center of it all."
Eddie, I'm gonna tell you a great story. But first, I'm gonna preface it. So take it for what you want. People don't really know what leadership is until they really find a leader. They think leadership is the guy wearing the CEO shirt, collared with a tie, who comes in with a briefcase. And a CEO is really the kind of leadership that Dave was exposed to and that he had because he was in the military, where people's decisions caused life and death. That's real leadership. And most people don't recognize it. And that's why it's hard to work with Dave in the beginning, because there's no like, hey guys, I see a grenade coming in the air. There's a couple things we can do. We can pray, or we can call Hunter and say goodbye to him, or we can, there's none of that. And so he comes from a background, this is my analysis, where decisions are just made. Okay, guys, grenades coming. What do you want to do? Or he takes in the input, and then everyone does. Then he decides, right? And the business world's not like that. They fuck around.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, I'll give you one quick example, and then I'll tell you about why the pig isn't why he got fired. They have a DEI council now, diversity, equity, inclusivity. Dave would have never done that. If you wanted more black people in CrossFit, Dave would, as a leader, would have put things in progress that would have gotten 3 new black people in every affiliate in the United States, or that person would have been fired. He would have just assigned the fucking task. You don't build a fucking council to figure that shit out. You want more fat people? You figure it out. You do something that lures them in. You don't fucking have it.
Yeah.
That's just a fucking smoke show. That's bullshit. Build a fucking gym in Harlem if you want more black people next to one of those churches that all those fat motherfuckers go to, and give it to them for fucking free. And have some fucking beautiful black coaches there and get them in. If you want more black people.
Hey guys, I don't know if you've seen me in any of my Instagram videos, but I'm probably 99% of the time wearing, as I am right now, barbell apparel. I met these guys, talked to them. They sent me out a whole bunch of stuff to wear. I looked at it. I was like, who knows? Put it on and went, wow, this is the most comfy stuff I've ever worn in my life. And now I don't take it off. I travel with it. I don't think there's any better clothing to wear traveling, just because it's so comfortable and functional. I work out in it. So I can go from just like hanging around the house, driving the kids to school, right back to the gym to work out. And then it looks nice. It looks perfect. And it's just so comfortable. If I have to do a show, I might throw on a pair of jeans. They have the most comfortable jeans, and they're built for you, CrossFitters, workout fanatics, anybody who's got bulky quads, calves, glutes. It's so stretchy and it looks good. My wife's a fashion stylist. When I first put it on, she goes, wow, those are the best fitting jeans I've ever seen on you. So here's what you want to do. They have a whole bunch of different kind of joggers. I can't tell you which one I like the best, but I am partial to the Recover joggers, the ones that are so soft. I feel like I'm putting on like pajamas, not even pajamas. They're like, it's the softest, like, that soft t-shirt material. Those ones are great. But I also like the fact that they have zippered pockets, because everybody has an iPhone or a phone on them at all times, and you don't want your phone falling out. I have a pair that has pockets on the sides and the back, and I never worry about my wallet or my phone. And it's not one of those zippers that gets in the way. The guys that made this just really thought about everything and made sure these were so comfortable and so functional. I don't know why there's other companies in business now, but here's the good part. If you don't trust me, and you don't want to order them, go to one of their retail locations. They have one in Irvine, California, one in Huntington Beach, and one in Las Vegas, where I'm going to stop this week while I'm there. I'm going to go check out, see what other stuff they have, because I like it so much. Go to barbellapparel.com/WODcast. Check out their ultra comfortable high performance apparel, and you're going to save 10% off any purchase. That's barbellapparel.com/WODcast. That's barbellapparel.com/WODcast. And then send me a little DM and tell me, go, oh my God, you were so right, because I know I am.
If that's how you judge, anyway. So there was a meeting. I don't know if this story's ever been told publicly. This is what I heard.
Fuck, this is gonna get good.
And this isn't why he got fired, but this is. There was a meeting, and it was a Zoom meeting, and Dave was in the meeting, and it was with the executive team at CrossFit. You have to understand, most of these people are woke as fuck. What does that mean by woke as fuck? That means that every word you say, you're really saying the opposite, and all of your insecurities you project onto other people. And so he's sitting in this meeting and he's loading magazines. It's a Zoom call in an executive meeting. He's loading fucking magazines. Click, 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 click. You have to understand, this guy, if you ever been out to the ranch, he got fucking more guns and ammo. He got fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars of ammo up there. I mean, he trained SWAT teams and FBI, and it's like all sorts of crazy shit's going on up there. So he's loading magazines, because when the meeting's over, he's got to practice his shooting. And he gets a call afterwards. And what I hear is that the call is basically like, hey, you can't load magazines in the meeting. And he says, of course I can. And they're like, well, it makes some people feel uncomfortable. You go, turn off the fucking video. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean it makes you feel uncomfortable that I'm loading magazines? And if you're smart, like me, and you were the executive director and chief marketing officer of the fastest growing chain in the history of the fucking world, thank you. You see, wow, this is incredible brand value, and you leak this story out that the director of the CrossFit Games, the hardest fucking physical test in the world, fucking loads magazines in the executive meeting with former executives from Charles Schwab and fucking Google and fucking, you know what I mean, and Goldman Sachs. But instead, they fucking complain. They don't see the brand value in what fucking real badass shit looks like. And Dave's got a ton of fucking tics and weird shit too. You know what I mean? He's not a fucking normal guy. Maybe he's like 5% Asperger's. Like, you'll be in meetings. I used to live at a home with disabled adults for 5 years. And he does that thing where he rubs his eyebrow, where he's self-stimming, that real gentle thing, or like he's rubbing hairs on his arms and shit. And like they didn't know how to manage greatness. Managing greatness is fucking hard. It is hard. And so instead of in a movie, Eddie, the producer, if the director can't get fucking Tom Cruise under control, the producer fires the director. They don't fucking fire Tom Cruise.
Can't fire Tom Cruise.
Up. Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
You don't fire. And those fucking idiots fire Tom Cruise. Instead of being like, well, we got to leak this story. They're like, it's inappropriate. They're fucking flies on shit that just fucking are just navigating one pile of shit to another. They don't know leadership. They don't know brand value. They don't. And we thought they would, because they came from Stanford and Harvard and blah, 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 blah. They're just fucking conventional thinkers.
What's going to happen? What's our 1 year platform? Our 2 year?
Right here, I did 50 fucking burpees in a minute and 50 seconds 2 days ago at 50 years old, and bam.
How many?
50.
50 in a minute. What?
Sevan, does that mean you're taking it over?
No, wait,
157. I mean, if they're smart, they'll
give it back to you.
Yeah.
Wait. I want to hear 50 burpees and how many?
157.
That's pretty good.
And I'm culturally appropriating. I say 50.
That's impossible. You did 50 burpees in 1 minute and 57 seconds.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram.
Dude, people who actually work hard are getting in pretty good shape. Eddie, you just butter the biscuit when you go into the gym.
Hey, Hunter, when are you going to break the burpee 1 hour record that some girl has?
I don't want that, dude.
Why not? You told me you could do it easily.
Yeah, but I still don't want it. That girl's so thin. Because I want to get on the boat and go.
You want to talk about her thinness? I'm concerned about her thinness.
Are you talking about
that's a lot of the girls in our sport, dude. It's terrifying.
I'm concerned about her thinness.
Yeah. When you see that, you don't look at like athleticism. Typically, people like that can do incredible athletic stuff because their body is so on the verge of absolute destruction, but also on the verge of being, it's like what the cyclists do. They call it being on the razor. You reach such a point where your amount of wattage that you can put out versus the amount of weight that you have to move with that wattage is so high because you're so thin. It's typically a low amount of wattage, but but because you're so thin, it ends up being a large amount of power output over an hour. And that's why she was able to do that. Nasty.
That's hey,
pretty impressive.
Science. How big is Danielle Brandon's butt?
I don't know Danielle Brandon.
Oh my God, you guys are out of your mind. See, you got to give me access to Instagram. She's so awesome. Her butt is so big and crazy.
We'll do a part 2 of this.
Is she a CrossFitter?
We'll do a part
No, I can
two.
never. I'm not doing another podcast outside of the Sevan podcast for fucking 5 years.
You will.
No.
Wait a second.
Because someone else is gonna yell at me now and be like, "How come you said no to my podcast?" And I'm gonna be like,
wait,
"Well,
that's
because
the
he
big
lured me
tall
with
blonde
Hunter."
girl.
Savon,
That's the big tall
just
blonde girl.
go to your messages right now and look.
No.
Look at the video.
Are you guys
sent.
sending private messages to each other?
Yes,
Are you
he
sending
did.
him the arm?
Yes.
I sent him the fist.
Oh my God. Send it to me too. I haven't seen it in a long time. I need it.
Oh my
It's not
God.
healthy to see that stuff, you guys. You shouldn't look at that stuff.
Savon's
No, but you
mad-
should be
Savon's mad-
inspired.
Hunter, Savon's mad because it's interracial. It's not pure enough for his Armenian race.
When are you
I wanna
guys
see
going to
that.
come out?
Is
when
it
are you guys gonna
interracial?
come
That
out
would
to my
actually be
cabin in
cool
the
if it
woods?
is.
It is interracial.
That's
It is.
racist. Hey, you know what's cool though? It's a black dude doing it to a white dude. If it was the other way around, it would be. I would have
That'd be a
issues
serious
with it.
problem.
Yeah.
It'd be a hate
Yeah.
crime.
Yes.
Why don't you guys come up to my cabin in the woods and we'll just eat a huge jar of mushrooms and we'll figure this whole thing out.
Hey, how was your mushroom experience the other night?
Oh my God. Can I talk about it on here?
Yeah, go ahead if you don't mind losing sponsors.
I actually, you know what's funny? I did just
No, he's
I
not
did-
joking.
I did just get sponsors for the first time in like 2 or 3 years, and I'm very grateful to have them. So
Who is it? Who is it?
I work with RPM. RPM's a great company. I'm very grateful for that. I work with
They're the nutrition company.
No. RPM makes training equipment, and they have a training app called Adam. They're working with a bunch of big CrossFitters.
Yeah, Pat Barber
And-
is working with them.
Yeah. So they're doing a really cool thing. They're basically making like the Peloton experience for CrossFit. Like, you know, they give you like a little micro gym for the inside of your house. And teach classes.
You buy the equipment, you get it home, and then you have you can get online every day and have someone like Pat Barber teach your class every day.
Totally.
I
Listen, if they're going to
pretty
can
cool
me
idea.
for this, if they're going to can me for this story, then they didn't do their research on me beforehand.
Okay,
Do you and Pat get along, Hunter?
I've never met Pat.
Oh, okay.
I feel like we would. I mean, I'm an enjoyable person. He seems like a cool cat. Like, you know,
He's pretty cantankerous. Yeah, he is.
I'm
he's
a
very
big Pat
cool.
Barber fan. Huge.
But he's
Yeah.
cantankerous as a mofo. He's
Oh, yeah.
wild.
So the other night I met up with my friend Augie, who's been helping manage my career ever since I've been a wee lad. And we decided
Sorry, one more thing about mushrooms. Their shit is fucking nice.
RPM, it's really nice.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really cool, dude. I'm a big fan of their kettlebell. I'm not gonna lie at all. Like I'm a diehard guy when it comes to kettlebells. Get one of their kettlebells. I'll send it to you, maybe both of you guys as a gift because I'm nice like that. So we started out the evening. I bought 4 chocolate bars, and I was like, and the guy was like, "Man, listen, this is how it's meant to be done." He's like, "You guys should split one." He's like, "I ate a whole one time, and I was on another planet. I'll never do that again." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever, dude." So we split one, and we watch the new James Bond movie, and I was like, I don't feel it good enough. Let's crack into the second one. Now we're watching Big Trouble Little China. We go through the second bar. Now we're watching Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh, what
We're
a great
through
film.
the third and fourth bar, and
You know,
4 bottles of.
Oh, you're making me
improv.
so uncomfortable that you ate 3 bars.
that was-
You're making me.
That was directed by a CrossFitter who's been on the
Really?
show. Peanut Butter
Who?
Falcon.
Really?
And the hand model.
Dude, that is such a good movie.
It's an
look it up for
amazing
you.
film.
It is such a good movie. Yeah,
Peanut butter hand model.
Peanut Butter Hand Model.
What's the name of it?
Peanut Butter
Peanut
Falcon.
Butter Falcon.
It's
got Shia
probably
LaBeouf.
one of our Tyler Nielsen. He's one of the funniest guests we've ever had on this show by far. And he is he used to CrossFit at Deuce and at Paradiso. He just like lingered from CrossFit gym to CrossFit gym, and he directed that film, and he's working on a series now. But that film is awesome.
MVP, dude. I'm really I don't know if I'll ever meet the peanut butter hand model, but he's MVP in my heart.
Well, hey Hunter, when we do the show next time with me, you, and Sevan, we'll have Tyler on.
I'll definitely be here. Did I say that I'd love to come on with you again?
You know what we could do is we've been pitching the show 30, 40, 50, and you're now 50. So we can use you as our 50. We were going to use Bobby, but he's too hard to pin down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who's
Boom,
Bobby?
You just became
crazy
Bobby.
Can you just say I'm better than Bobby? Not that he's too hard to pin down.
You and Bobby. I'd love to see you go head to head.
I think you two. I think you guys are both incredibly smart, so that's going to be a good match. And I don't think you guys have opposing opinions.
No, they'd agree, but they take different routes to get there.
Totally. And I don't know if you guys.
Tyler Nielsen only has 3 posts on Instagram. How am I supposed to invite him onto my podcast?
He's amazing. I love Tyler Nielsen. He is. I went to the CrossFit Games with him one year. We went to watch the games together. Followed
by Christmas Abbott, Lindsay Cantu, and Josh Raynergold.
You're making me think that I have Asperger's now.
He's very good friends with Armin Amirian.
Who's Armin?
Armin Hammer.
Armin, he started the WODcast podcast.
Yeah.
Is Miriam his chick?
No, Armin Amirian's his last name.
Oh shit! I didn't even know Armin's last name.
Yeah, no one does.
No. Hunter, why would I make you feel like you have Asperger's?
Because all of those things that you say he does, I've been doing this entire call, and I just caught myself doing it again. And I'm like,
oh yeah, self-stimming. It's okay.
I have Asperger's. Okay. I'm like rubbing my thigh right now and like scratching my head when I get excited.
Hunter.
Like, it's actually it's actually autism. I just say Asperger's not to hurt anyone's feelings.
Hunter, did you just figure this out about yourself? Because we've all been together for a while.
Shit, man, I'm caught red-handed. Fuck, you guys have all been lying to me this whole time. And
we haven't been lying. We haven't been lying. We just haven't been telling you to your face.
That's what I'm trying to say. You guys just haven't been saying it. Sevan's by accident the first person to let the cat out of the bag. You're like, fuck, Hunter knows.
Call Eddie after show and find out who's gonna check on Hunter that he doesn't kill himself. Okay, just make a note of myself.
Unfortunately, Hunter will never kill himself.
Okay, Hunter. So you crack into your 3rd bar. Just so you know, this is really making me feel uncomfortable.
You don't like drunk talk?
The thought of being on mushrooms right now fucking makes me. It's like I'm not sure this is better than watching that video of the guy get an arm pushed up his asshole. But
dude, the stuff is so much better for you. It's so much healthier. Like last night we went out in Austin and we drank a bunch of beers, and I've been tasting this fucking disgusting taste of booze and in my mouth all day long. I had 0 hangover from the mushrooms.
And what was the feeling? Is it euphoria? What is it? I want to know. I've never done it. This is the one drug I could be maybe persuaded to do someday.
It almost takes you back to the state of being a kid. Like, have you ever when you take a kid to a park and you see how excited they are running up to people or like picking up something and looking at it, like absolutely blown away. It's like seeing things for the first time again.
So psilocybin, which is the active drug in mushrooms. Do you understand the neuropathy or the neurobiology? Do you understand it at all? What's going on in your brain?
Yeah, it makes you genderless. It makes you genderless.
Yeah, back to cereal.
Hunter's big clit.
Hey, I'll get Hunter here. Let me add to that. When you're on mushrooms, you see your dog and you walk across the room and you hug him and you're like, you almost want to cry. You're like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I've never recognized you for what you are before. And like,
that's what I'm trying to say.
You're like, holy fuck. And it's fucking intense.
So it intensifies everything.
I would never want to do it when I have kids.
Not in a bad way.
I would need someone watching because you're to really let go on that. You can't be like,
yeah, you can't have a lot of responsibilities. That's why I gave up for the past 2 years during COVID. I was like, the world's too messed up right now for me to let go of what's going on and like enjoy this moment. But now I feel like everything's kind of opening up again. So I just had some fun.
Okay. Do you want to hear my weird story?
Ooh, yeah.
So I went to Costa Rica last week for a week surfing. And
this is the best.
I was in the water probably, I'd surf for 2 to 3 hours in the morning and sometimes like a couple hours at night, right before sundown. And I was just like completely immersed in the water about midway through the week. And they say you can drink the water there. I got explosive diarrhea, like explosive, and had it for about 24 hours. No big deal. Just figured I ate or drank something wrong. Then I come home. I've got the last day I started to get a massive sinus headache. And I don't really get sinus problems, but I figured I just had so much water clogged up there in my brain because of like being in the water so much and taking like just wave after wave, just getting tumbled, and how much water and salt water was going up my nose. But the water seems really clean down there. Cut to I'm sitting on the shitter. I go to sneeze and I'm like, oh, good, I'll sneeze and maybe it'll clear some of the stuff out of my head. A worm came out of my nose.
Oh my goodness.
So the worm currently is at a lab right now being tested to see what I have. But
hey, dude,
what?
you should take ivermectin. You should take ivermectin.
Dr. Drew, I called Dr. Drew right away, and he was like, "You need to get on ivermectin right now."
See, I know my shit.
There's another anti-parasite.
I can't tell if you guys are being sarcastic about this. It's like everyone really talks about ivermectin now.
No. Ivermectin is an anti-parasite drug that's been used worldwide. Like if it was worms, if that's what it was, the doctor said it's phlegm. He's like, "Oh, this is just like hard phlegm," and I'm like, "Dude, that's not phlegm. Like if you squeezed it, it was like a rubber band. You couldn't separate it." And, it could be roundworms, and if it is, like 1 billion people worldwide get that. So it's like one in.
But it's in your.
Who knows? I could have coughed up my stomach. We don't know. But
how often do you go to Costa Rica?
This is the first time I ever went.
It is
maybe the last.
Do you know Dr. Paul Saladino?
I do know him.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you go there, did you look him up when you were there?
No. Is that where he is?
Oh, yeah.
That's where he's located?
Well, he's by. He's by Texas and Costa Rica. He's by, like Hunter. He's by.
Yeah, it was great. The waves weren't that good, but everything else was amazing. The lack of laws is we went zip lining. We walk up to the zip line place, and the guy he just goes hi and hands us the harnesses and goes, "Put these on." And we put them on and he tightened them. No paperwork, no course, nothing. He points to an ATV and he goes, "Man on front, woman on back." And I just sat on the front of this ATV, and the guy drove me like 60 miles an hour up this like trackless dirt track up to the top of the mountain. And I'm just holding on for dear life. And I was like, we never signed a paper. We just handed them cash. And I was like, this is the way life.
This is how life should be.
Dogs running around the streets without leashes on, Just
hey, did you check the zip line? Like, was like the steel coil unraveling and
I
shit?
was
like,
so scared of the level of safety, and just whatever. It's one of those things where I went, I felt like I was in the movie Romancing the Stone. Like I was just like, we might fucking.
Wow, you're old. Hunter, Romancing the Stone was a Indiana Jones knockoff movie.
Don't ever call it a knockoff.
Who's in it?
Michael Douglas. And,
nobody.
Who is the woman?
Douglas is amazing.
Nobody. It's a great film.
What,
dude,
God,
Michael
it's
Douglas?
I do, but it's Indiana Jones knockoff.
When I got COVID, I was watching the game and I was in like peak fucked up state. Like every part of my body was melting, and it was the scene where
that's because you're addicted to carbohydrates. That's because you don't respect the sugar game. Go on.
But it's when Michael Douglas shot his brother, and I started tearing up like man tears, and I couldn't tell if it was because I was so sick or if I was just so sad because of the movie. But only Michael Douglas could do that to me. So if he's in that movie, I respect it.
I cried on a podcast last night. I don't normally cry on podcasts.
Who did you say brought you to that?
Michael Douglas.
No, go on. Who was it?
I did a podcast with Hunter. Do you have any kids?
No.
Sevan, who made you cry?
I was on a podcast with Josh Bridges, and we were telling kid stories, and my kid had just was in some tennis competition, and he had lost to his brother. He beat all the other kids and then lost to his brother, his twin brother. And he walked away and he went and sat down like 40 feet away, and he's only 5. And he's sitting there, and this is like the happiest fucking kid ever. And I walk over to him and I get on my knees and I kind of get between his legs. He's sitting on a bench and I'm on the ground. And I look into his eyes. I go, "Hey, what's up, Ari?" And he goes, I'm gonna start crying again. It's so weird when my tear ducts turn on. You know that feeling when your tear ducts turn on?
Yeah, only I can do it. I'm puking.
Yeah. But he said, he goes, I feel something.
Aw.
And I was just like, oh, fuck. I feel something. I know that feeling. I feel something. Hey, I wanted to brag about my kids for a second. For anyone out there in the world who wants I have 2 5-year-olds and a 7-year-old, and they're boys. And if you have kids, and if you ever have the chance for your kids to hang out with my kids, your kids are the fucking luckiest fucking kids in the world. And I say this with all fucking humility. I have the 3 fucking nicest fucking boys ever, and they're super talented and they're super smart. And your kids, especially if you have like 2, 3, or 4-year-olds and they come over, they will be changed fucking people. Everyone who comes to my house saes that about their fucking kids.
Good. I'm sending you crews today.
Yeah, send them up. And
you'll send them back. I guarantee it.
And there's this kid who's come over for the last 2 weekends. It's this little girl. She's 2.5 years old. And when her dad has to take her home, she screams bloody murder. And do you remember, can you imagine being that passionate of a human being that you're hanging? Imagine like when we got off if we never wanted to get off the phone because me, Eddie, and Hunter liked each other so much.
That's how I feel right now.
And we started crying because that's how passionate these kids are. And my boys draw that out of this girl. And the father tells me, he goes, hey dude, she's 2.5 years old. I've never seen this behavior from her. I'm like, yeah, my kids are like, and I noticed this first because my boys, when they're around my sister's kids, that's how my sister's kids are. They're older than my boys by like 5 years and maybe even more. And my kids just transform in front of them.
Well, this is a perfect opportunity for me to end the show because the reason
no one gives a fuck.
Hey, no, it's great. No, I really do. I I love talking to you about your kids because I think you're like King Richard with your kids, and I think it's really cool. My daughter right now at 9:15, she hits the track. She's running in a jogathon down at her school, and awesome. I know my daughter's going to go smoke all these kids. And so I want to go watch her, and I've got to be there, and I can't miss this. So otherwise I'd talk to you guys for 4 hours, but my kid's more important. And,
hey, I did a 3-hour podcast with the Liver King. He tried to get off after 90 minutes.
Fuck him.
I love him. I love him.
Fuck him. All right. This is to be continued. We're going to do this again, guys.
I have to call you and ask what that was actually like.
No, fuck him. He told me to talk to his agent. He's not coming.
I love him. I love him. Eddie's big time, Hunter. We don't understand how big time Eddie is.
I love you guys. Thanks for doing the show. Hunter, at Hunt the Sheriff on Instagram.
You'll see me around, baby.
And Sevan, what's your podcast?
The Sevan podcast. I put my Instagram on my thing. At Sevan Matossian, even though I'm shadow banned like a motherfucker.
Right. I cannot miss this race. I love you guys. Bye.